Let's do it. All right. Put the screen here. Okay, here we go. Oh, all right. The ES this morning does not look super appealing. We have this wick over wick action. I'm not sure if that was some sort of news that came out this morning. But if we want to see that, we can just pull another tab over. Let me see. Hold on. X Factory. Okay, so we had some negative news, but I'm pretty sure a 50 means it's like there's no growth, but there's no shrinkage or whatever you want to call it. Shrinkage is probably not the right word. Maybe we're waiting for these people to speak. All right, well, we'll see what happens, see if we can find a couple of trades, see if anything looks decent or not. So, like I typically say, if you've ever seen any of these videos, what you have right now is you have a break of the norm. The NASDAQ looks like it's heading down, and the ES is headed up. That's a weird scenario, and I think what it could be is that one is either overbought or one is oversold, right? People, so they buy the rumor and sell the news, or vice versa, right? If you think it's going down. So I don't love either one of these, and I'm going to try to stay away from them, I think, today, or at least for the next little bit. So let's go see what something else is up to. We're going to go over to crude oil, see if that has anything. Not a 15, 60-minute chart. It's kind of a little range bound, and you're kind of in an overall bigger downtrend. So you might get a retest, or I guess a new test of this on a bigger time frame. What does that look like? It's not horrible, but it's not amazing. Yeah, I don't like any of that. Let's go to another one. Ooh, too gappy, right? Too many gaps in there. So we'd have to go to the full size HG, which I think it's copper or something like it's a metal. Copper, yeah. Okay, a little less gappy. And on a 30-minute, there's an uptrend, but what about 120? Yep, still an uptrend. What about a daily? Get some time in there. Okay. This might not be a... If we really shrink it down, you kind of have... You have equal lows here and this high, right? But you broke that high point, and then your next low got a little bit higher. So technically, you're kind of in an uptrend. It's just a little ugly. So I don't necessarily know if we're going to find anything that looks decent. And we did kind of get a spike up this morning, it looks like. Let's see if there's anything on a lower time frame. Without a little bit more candle, it's hard to tell. I like areas that are, I like to see a high. I like to see the market stop at that high, right around that high, and then break, right? So in here, this is kind of the area that I actually think is best. Use a rectangle. All right, in there. That would be the area that I was interested in, which it already has tested and continued to run. But it is kind of far away from that. So we can keep an eye on it and we'll come back to it and check on it. But let's see what natural gas is doing. See if that's something that can give us a trade. Also, pretty wiki in here. Don't know if that's going to be the solution either. All right, so it looks like there was a downtrend, and it looks like they are trying to break to the upside here by breaking these, and you kind of have this W pattern in here. Might be something. We'll go to a lower time frame and see what we can find. Let's go to 120. All right, so it kind of has hit this little area. That's a $520 zone per contract. So if you do want to do 2 contracts at a minimum, that's not good for a $25,000 account. That's not going to work. Is there? Oops. G. Give me a micro. Come on. A little better. Still doesn't look great. So again, this program, like it understands certain things, but it definitely has its downfalls of what it thinks is areas of interest. Oh, this is a real, they call that a head and shoulders. I don't know technical analysis that well, but I'm pretty sure that is a sort of head and shoulders-esque looking thing. Yeah. And again, this sucks, but this is nighttime. So I guess that's one thing. If you look during the day, you don't really have, you have a gap right there. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm talking about. Right. This is the problem with micro contracts. They don't have as much volume. So this was at 3 o'clock in the morning. You see on the bottom of the screen, but this gap from there to there, right, was at 11 o'clock. That's not great. That kind of sucks. There's little gaps all over this. So maybe that's something that if we're going to take a trade in that, we just have to kind of add that into the stop loss and say, hey, we might get gapped a couple of ticks here. So in this right here, this basing, move up, it probably should have been this whole area all the way down to 318. And if it would have been drawn that way, there's 318. Yeah, so this kind of has already, right there. This has already kind of popped out of the zone, and it did make a slightly higher high than these. So there was some buying pressure in there, but now it's kind of just sitting, not doing much. It needs another push up. If it had another push up, I would try to enter somewhere in here on like a little retracement or something. But it's kind of dilly-daddling. And man, these are some, how many points is that? How many ticks is that? That's 350. Okay, that's 3 ticks that this thing gapped. Yikes. Good thing it's only like $1 a tick at this size, depending on how many contracts. I mean, 1 contract, but yeah, this thing gaps kind of a lot. I don't necessarily think I would be too happy with that one. What is this little zone that got drawn? Oh, okay, 220 for that guy. I don't think it's all that amazing. There's no real previous high in here that it just broke. It's kind of above all that other stuff. Yeah, I don't think I'd take that one. Let's see here. Let's go to the Russell. What's the Russell doing? Oh, the Russell's taking off. All right. Look at you. Where was the market open on this guy? Right here? It's up quite a bit. Kind of surprised. What's the all-time high? Somewhere in here, daily. This is not all-time highs. That's as far back as they're going to give me. We're getting close to it, though, I think. I think that's the all-time high up there. Yikes. All right. Well, you might be coming into an area of quite a few sellers. Might knock this thing back down a minute. Let's see if I get more data on this. That was a year. I think that's the all-time high. I don't think I need more data. We figured it out. Okay. Alrighty. What else can we look at here? Not indexes, micros. Aussie dollar, what are you doing? Nothing. Yeah, not much. It's kind of ugly. Let's see. Nope. Still ugly. Yeah, not good. All right, next one. British pound. Not on a 60-minute. It's kind of ugly, so I don't have a lot of hopes. And it's very gappy. Might have to go to the full-size British pound. That's better. And let's see, daily. Sideways. You got a high, you got a low, you got lower highs and lower lows, or higher highs. Blah. Lower highs, higher lows, right? You're just pinballing between this area. Not much of a trend there. Don't really like it. You play the outskirts, but you're taking a risk on the outside of it that it's not going to break the next time it gets out there. And it's not really retracing all the way to the outside. It's kind of retracing even skinnier than that. So it's like coiling up. Not as good. Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing this morning? Not a whole lot. All right. 60 minutes. Not a whole lot again. Better on 240. Need more data. Oops. Not alerts. Data. Oh, look at that. Context. Not as much context as we probably could have used. But this little area in here would be more of my interest. But you can kind of see, if I'm going to mark it and see if it stays. Drawing tool, rectangle. All right. Now, if we go to the next time frame, we'll see if that stays in place. It did. Look at that. So it was immediately retested, right? It came up, wicked down, grabbed it, went. So it was a good area, and it was because of this previous high point in here. You can see that was 11,9,275, and over here that is 11,9,2. Oh God, you get it. It's right there. All right. So that was the high point. Came back, based, rallied. So that one's kind of gone as well. Delete that. Maybe if I knew where my delete, there it is. Some days there are just not a lot of things to trade, and it kind of sucks. but the market is not going to give you a setup every day. And you don't really want to force trades. As soon as you start forcing trades, you get into that either that gambler mentality or you get into the mentality of like, oh, this has to work. And then you start blowing up accounts and doing all kinds of nasty things. So try to refrain from any of that if you can. That would not be a good thing. All right. Take this, move it up here. Yeah, that's a little better. Let's see. I mean, copper's really on a cruise this morning. Hasn't had a ton of pullbacks other than this little kind of stoppage in here. I wonder. What else? What we got? I actually don't know what ICD is. I don't think I've seen that before, and I'm imagining it doesn't have a ton of volume. If I don't know, I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. Look at this crap. There's gaps. The wicks are huge. All the candles are like the same size. Does not have a lot of volume. That's probably why I didn't know what it was, because it's probably not super relevant. Let's see. Interesting. I've not seen this one either. This is what happens when you trade the same things over and over and over again. You don't really see some of the other stuff that they come out with. And even though they come out with stuff like this, it doesn't mean that it's like super tradable. You need volume to trade something. Just because they have a contract for it